Greetings, students, families, friends, and most importantly, fellow veterans. On behalf of the staff and students, I'd like to say how much we appreciate your service and how much we miss your presence at Lin-Wood schools for our annual Veterans Day celebration. It's truly a special moment when we have the privilege of recognizing and honoring all of you. Know that our hearts are with you wherever you may be, and that the absence of a gathering does not detract from Lin-Wood's commitment to honoring all our community of friends, relatives, and neighbors. Most will never know the significance of our sacrifices. Most will never know the brotherhood formed among soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. Most will not share the tradition and legacy of family members who joined before them and after them. Those of us who do know will recognize the veteran spirit of our brothers and sisters in arms. We hold a solemn respect for what they have accomplished and what it feels to be a veteran. This day honors all of you. I honor all of you. Our staff and student body honor your sacrifices, heroism, and commitment to our freedom. Please enjoy the rest of this presentation, knowing how much Lin-Wood Public Schools revere our veterans and community members. God bless you.
Veterans Day 2020. Robert Blake, U.S. Army, 1968 to 1977, submitted by KIARA Blake, grade 5, and Dominic and Isaiah Blake, grade 1. Corporal Joseph G. Bossy, Jr., Army Sea Company, Fort Stewart, Georgia, from 2018 to the present. Prior service, Marines, 2007 to 2012, inactive reserve, 2012 to 2016, submitted by Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Bossy, Sr. Staff Sergeant Daniel H. Boyle, U.S. Army, France, World War II, Mrs. Hood's grandfather. Paul Boyle, New Hampshire Army National Guard, 1965 to 1975. U.S. Army from 1975 to 1995. Nuclear Weapons Technical Inspector Chief Warrant Officer, Lincoln High School, class of 1963, and Mrs. Hood's father. David Bradley, U.S. Army, 4 years of ROTC at UNH, tours in Germany and Vietnam, from 1962 to 1982, Lincoln High School, class of 1958. James I.S. Bijou, Army, Expert Rifleman, Nike Missile Guidance Expert, dates of service from 1964 to 1967 with an honorable discharge. Ronnie Salela, U.S. Army, from August 1998 to January 2007, 101st Airborne Division, submitted by Hallie Salela, class of 2021. Corporal Liam Michael Clark, U.S. Army, 3rd Squadron, 73rd Cavalry, 82nd Airborne Division, from July 2018 to the present. Submitted by Willa Clark, grade 6, Briar Clark, grade 5, and Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Bossy, Sr. Ronald Comensana, U.S. Army, from 1968 to 1971. Submitted by Anthony J. Vecchione, grade 12. HENDRIX, or Henny Crabtree, U.S. Navy, from 1942 to 1945. Grandfather of Emma Bradley, grade 6. James Cummings Sr., or Papa Jim, U.S. Army, Korean War, from 1951 to 1953. Great-grandfather of Aubrey Champy, grade 7, and Wesley Champy, kindergarten. John Dawson, U.S. Air Force, NASA, Korean conflict and Vietnam veteran, a POW. Awards included 2 Bronze Stars, 3 Distinguished Flying Crosses, 12 Air Force Service Medals, the Airman's Medal, the Meritorious Service Medal, and numerous other decorations, totaling over 45 medals. Service recognized on the Smithsonian Institute's National Aviation and Space Exploration Wall of Honor in Washington, D.C. The DOVHOLUK family veterans. Paul DOVHOLUK, Marion DOVHOLUK, Balch DOVHOLUK, Fred DOVHOLUK, Bruce DOVHOLUK, Tom DOVHOLUK, Mike DOVHOLUK, and Len DOVHOLUK. These 8 DOVHOLUK served this great nation with deep devotion, respect, sacrifice, dedication, focus, commitment, and fortitude. We are thankful for the opportunity and grateful for your wonderful support. We are all Americans. May the bells of freedom ring. Joe Drapo, U.S. Army, 1982 to 1988. Submitted by Olivia, Shanna, and Bryn Drapo. Joseph W. Evans, U.S. Marines. Corporal Sergeant, 1st Armored Amphibian Company, 11th Marine Regiment, 1st Marine Division, I Corps, Vietnam. June 1968 to July 1969. Submitted by Dylan Russell, grade 12. David Forshey, U.S. Army, from 1961 to 1964. Submitted by Hazel Wilson, grade 5, and Andrew Wilson, grade 11. Martin B. Graham, American Expeditionary Forces from 1914 to 1918. World War I Quartermaster Corps from 1914 to 1918, Mrs. Hood's grandfather. Charles Harrington, U.S. Army, 4th Regimental Combat Team from 1956 to 1960. Great uncle of Dawson Woods, grade 2. Roger Harrington, U.S. Army, from 1959 to 1962. Grandfather of Dawson Woods, grade 2. Ernest Holtzman, Jr., U.S. Army, 82nd Airborne, from 1968 to 1971. Submitted by Anna Harvey, grade 10, Abby Harvey, grade 8, Maisie Anderson, grade 6, and Camden and Ian Anderson, grade 4. Normand E. Hood, U.S. Army, Korea 2nd Division, 33rd Infantry, from 1953 to 1954, Mr. Hood's father. Mike Jenness, U.S. Army, from 1978 to 1980. KIARA Blake, grade 5, Dominic and Isaiah Blake, grade 1, submitted this. Paul Everett Johnson, Sr., active service in the Army Air Corps from 1943 to 1946, 2nd Lieutenant Navigator and Radar Observer Bombardment. Gloria Kimball, U.S. Army, a dental assistant from 1962 and 1967, Lincoln High School, class of 1961. John Kimball, U.S. Navy, from 1973 to 1979, submitted by Flynn Kimball, grade 2. Rodney Dean Kittleson, Sergeant First Class, 13 Bravo Cannon crew member, including 2 infantry deployments to Afghanistan, 7 rotational deployments to Romania, Germany, Lithuania, and Poland. Received Top Gun out of 26 countries in Operation Anaconda and has traveled across the Black Sea. Serving from 2008 to the present, submitted by Angel Kittleson, grade 12. Kevin KLEINPETER, U.S. Navy, First Class Petty Officer, Holtec, from 1976 to 1988. Submitted by Declan McLean, grade 3, and Maya Mori, grade 5. Phil Krill, Air National Guard, from 1962 to 1968. Submitted by Carver Krill, grade 5. Tony Ehrman, U.S. Air Force, from 1962 to 1968. Submitted by Greta Krill, grade 4. Homer W. Lane, Sr., Army Air Force, pilot of a B-24 bomber from 1942 to 1944. Submitted by Jackson Homer Bell, grade 2. Roland LeClaire, U.S. Naval Air Army National Guard from 1955 to 1959. Great-grandfather to Ryder Bell, kindergarten. Mark LeClaire, U.S. Army from 1979 to 1984. Grandfather to Ryder Bell, kindergarten. Jim Manning, U.S. Army, 16th Infantry Division. Grandfather of Cameron Manning, grade 10, and Liam Manning, grade 8. David G. McClure, a.k.a. Grampy. U.S. Navy, 1965 to 1971. Submitted by Ty McClure, grade 5. John McDonald, U.S. Navy. Sea service on 2 Navy destroyers, 2 combat tours, 1965 and 1968 to 1969, on Navy Swift boats in Vietnam. Navy Test and Evaluation Command in Key West, Florida and Norfolk, Virginia, from 1958 to 1972. One of our local veterans. Harold McIntosh, Army Air Corps, from 1941 to 1944. Submitted by Caleb Claremont, grade 2. PHILLIP McMorran, U.S. Air Force, from 1952 to 1956. Submitted by Olivia and Shanna Drapo. Raymond MULLEAVEY, U.S. Navy, Attack Squadron 64. Served in Cuban blockade from 1961 to 1965. Grandfather of Rayland Schamberger, grade 1. Quentin E. MULLEAVEY, U.S. Army, missing in action April 3, 1968. Great uncle of Rayland Schamberger, grade 1. James Vincent O'Brien, Army Air Corps Lieutenant Colonel, World War II veteran, recipient of the Purple Heart, and Army pilot in the African campaign. Uncle of Patrick Duncan, grade 6. Lawrence Wilbur O'Brien, Air Force Major, World War II, Korean conflict and Vietnam veteran. Uncle of Patrick Duncan, grade 6. Miguel Perry, U.S. Navy, 2018 to the present. Submitted by Gabriel Keynes, grade 5. George William Rhine, Jr., also known as Papa Bill, U.S. Army from 1964 to 1966. Ty McClure, grade 5. Adam C. Rich, New Hampshire Army National Guard, wheeled vehicle mechanic, deployed 2010 to 2011 with 197th Field Artillery Regiment, and again in 2015 also with 197th Field Artillery Regiment. Serving from 2006 to the present, submitted by Emily Rich, grade 11. Katie Salazar, U.S. Navy, second-class petty officer for a total of 8 years from 2009 to 2017. Submitted by Angel Kittleson, grade 12. Daniel Adam Salazar, Jr., U.S. Army from 2003 to 2007, and again from 2009 to 2010. Submitted by Angel Kittleson, grade 12. Daniel Adam Salazar, Sr., U.S. Army, Sergeant First Class for a total of 25 years, from November 1978 to September 2006. Submitted by Angel Kittleson, grade 12. Paul Sherdowan, U.S. Air Force, precursor to Space Command Force, from 1983 to 1987. Submitted by Owen, Sophie, and Violet Sherdowan, grades K, 1, and 2. Richard Stauffer, also known as PAP, U.S. Navy, Seabees, from 1970 to 1972. Submitted by Ty McClure, grade 5. Brian Toomey, U.S. Marines, from 2012 to 2018. Submitted by KIARA Blake, grade 5. Dominic and Isaiah Blake, grade 1. Ryan Weeden, Army National Guard, from 2001 to 2007. Submitted by Nora Weeden, grade 5. Grant Willard, U.S. Army, from 1998 to 2004. Submitted by KIARA Blake, grade 5. Dominic and Isaiah Blake, grade 1. The following images are courtesy of Joseph Newton Smith, American Legion Post 83.
The candle is reminiscent of the light of hope, which lives in our hearts to illuminate their way home, away from their captors to the open arms of grateful nation.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On Veterans Day by Joanna Fuchs. While we were at home, they traveled land and sea to make sure we stayed safe, to protect and keep us free. Words are not enough to give them what they are due. On Veterans Day, please thank them for their service to me and you.
They Did Their Share by Joanna Fuchs. On Veterans Day, we honor the soldiers who protected our nation. For their service as our warriors, they deserve our admiration. Some of them were drafted, some were just volunteers. For some it was yesterday, for some it's been many years. We owe so much to them who keep us safe from terror. So when we see a uniform, let's say thank you to every wearer.
Even though Jeff, like many other veterans, are very shy and quiet of crowds, he never came to one, but he saw him on TV and he heard people talk about him, including me, and he was just very proud of Lin-Wood and how they honor veterans. And so today, trying to honor my husband, Jeff Ingalls, and what's so wonderful about being here, sitting on his bench, is that his CB brothers, they're called CB Island 4, I think it was, honored him with this. It was their idea. They put money together. The community came together, neighbors and community members and church members, I mean, everyone, and donated money to be able to remember Jeff, this way. And Jeff was a graduate from Lin-Wood in 1978. He graduated when he was 17 and joined the military at 17, right after he graduated. And he always wanted to serve his country. And I think what he probably want me to say is, he wasn't that great of student. He wasn't the book type student. He was a hands-on learner, and he knew what he wanted, but he was a very good person and a dedicated person, and when he joined the military, he found his heart's desire.
Thoughts for Today by Sydney Sweeney.
Dear veterans,
those of us who have not served will never fully understand the sacrifices you have made, both in time of peace and war.
we will never fully understand what you are required to do or how you are able to do it.
We will never fully understand the depths of your scars.
What we can offer you is this.
We see you,
We recognize your humanity.
and we send you love that is gentle, patience, and healing.
With blessings and gratitude, we ask that you remember you are loved.
Thank you.
Veterans Day
By Cheryl Dyson.
On Veterans Day, we honor all
To answer to a service call.
soldiers young and soldiers old.
Fought for freedom, brave and bold.
Some have lived while others died.
And all of them deserve our pride.
We're proud of soldiers who kept thinking of red, white, and blue.
They fought for us and all our rights.
They fought through many days and nights.
And we may not know each name.
We thank all just the same. Thank you, veterans.
Thank you.
Take a moment to thank a veteran by Joanna Fuchs. When you see someone in a uniform, someone who served us all, doing military duty, answering the country's call. Take a moment to thank them for protecting what you hold dear. Tell them you are proud of them. Make it very clear. Just tap them on the shoulder, give a smile and say, thanks for what you're doing to keep us safe in the USA.
Today we will be reading a crossed-up poem we wrote together.
Veteran by
Gavin Kirkpatrick,
Chuck Poitras and Taylor Len.
V stands for veteran. E stands for everyone's hero.
T stands for trust.
E stands for encouragement.
R stands for responsibility.
A stands for America.
And N stands for nation.
Thank you, veterans, for serving our country.
Hi, I'm Ginny Everett, the Assistant Principal and the Director of Elementary Education here at Lin-Wood Public Schools. It was Maya Angelou who said, how important it is for us to celebrate and to honor our heroes and our sheroes. And here at Lin-Wood, we really do take the time to reflect and honor all of our veterans, the ones in our community, the ones in our families, and the ones in our nation. It's a really beautiful thing, and I'm so glad you all were able to join us for our Lin-Wood Veterans Day celebration. Thank you so much, and stay well.